Now, a while back, I spoke about how Clutch Sports' influence continues to grow in the NBA marketplace. It's going to be very interesting to see how the CAA affiliated Knicks kind of deal with that relationship. Now, Rich Paul spoke about how he felt about CAA. He kind of gave us some insight about that. But just giving a little backdrop, Leon Rose was LeBron James' agent in 2006. And that's when LeBron, as calculated as he is, had Rich Paul work under CAA and Leon Rose to kind of get the ropes of the business. And of course, Rich Paul eventually left CAA and formed Clutch Sports in 2012. But he did something besides taking the obvious client in LeBron James. He took other clients, Eric Bledsoe and Tristan Thompson. And in the business world, when you do things like that, it definitely creates a lot of smoke. But let's take a look at what Rich Paul had to say.
I'll say this. When I started the business, the one thing you have to understand when you start a business is you have to know what you don't know. And I didn't learn from the previous agency that I worked with. I did learn from a guy named Mark Termini, who I hired to help me be belt and suspenders. And Mark didn't have a huge business, but what he had an unbelievable professionalism and a detail. And I was able to add that to my game. I had a little bit of it already, but you know, he's 50 plus years old. I'm 30.
Mark Termini is a good dude.
You know,
and
once
again,
yeah,
he listened.
Him and his wife Wendy, and they
really good guy.
and our time together, they helped.
It's a very interesting, subtle shot when Rich Paul said that he didn't learn anything from CAA, which is sort of insight on how he feels about CAA. But then when you add on top of that, which is more important, is that he learned from a guy named Mark Termini. That guy is very important to this Clutch Sports, kind of gives you insight into the characteristics. Mark Termini has been in the business since 1986, and he is a trailblazer. He's an industry shaker. He's sort of like Uber to the taxi business, or Amazon to delivery. He's even shaken up the ways that the NBA conducts their business, especially among rookies, when in 1992, Jim Jackson got drafted into the league, and he instantly held out. And Mark negotiated a 6-year, $20 million deal, where Jim Jackson, even though he held out for that first season and only played 28 games, in that deal, he still got paid for that season. So the NBA quickly adjusted the way that rookies get paid to ensure that this could never happen again. That's why now we have the rookie scale contract. Rookies can only cash in on their extensions, which is pretty much offered after the 4th year. So this guy is a trailblazer in the negotiations. And also you look at the Ben Simmons holdout. He still got paid. And the Mark Termini blueprint is what Clutch Sports used to make sure that Ben Simmons still got paid. Just the CAA affiliated Knicks already know that this is the characteristics of Clutch Sports. There's already a friction there. And the fact that Rich Paul had left the agency and not only took LeBron, which was pretty much probably expected, but he took other clients in Eric Bledsoe and Tristan Thompson. And for the most part, make no mistake about it, it's a great business move by Rich Paul. They've been strong-arming teams. To sign their guys to large extensions, as we've seen it play out in Cleveland in 2016, where LeBron signed a longer-term deal, which was about 3 years. But along with what came with that was Clutch Sports clients J.R. Smith and Tristan Thompson getting large extensions. These guys are definitely hustling, and they're hustling smart. And all of this falls under the Mark Termini blueprint. And to go along with that 2016 deal of just getting Tristan Thompson paid, J.R. Smith paid, LeBron getting paid, after signing all these 1-year deals, 1+1 deals. You see, with them just doing all those 1+1 deals, Mark Termini was able to get LeBron James $19 million in that time frame extra by just doing those deals, by taking advantage of the ever-increasing cap. So Knicks fans just understand that Clutch Sports already have the characteristics is they're going to bleed you out. And with the heavy CAA affiliation, I'm not sure if they're going to want to be strong-armed by a guy who left the company and also took their clients. Things seem like they could get personal there. And one characteristic we could say for sure that CAA does have is that they look out for their own, as we could see how it played out with Obi Toppin, that the Knicks basically almost got nothing for him. but they sent him to a good place where he could actually maximize his earning potential. They sent him to the right team that had the right fit for Obi. Everything on that deal worked out perfectly for Obi. Not as much as the Knicks, but Obi being a CAA client, they hooked him up. So that's one characteristic we understand about CAA. They look out for their own, and it seems like it's a tight-knit family from the outside looking in. And once again, pay attention to the relationship as Clutch Sports' influence continues to grow. And some of the Clutch Sports clients that some Knicks fans get hype about when they hear trade rumors, let's trade for this guy, you might want to look the other way, because once you hear they signed to Clutch, you already know what it is. Guys like Mikal Bridges, Zach LaVine, Tyrese Maxey, DeJounte Murray, Fred VanVleet, Colin Sexton, and even a player that we all hate. I'm pretty sure some Knicks fans would like him on the team, especially if shit gets crazy in Atlanta. It's Trae Young. But once you hear these guys' names, you already know it's highly unlikely.
I didn't learn from the previous agency that I worked with. I did learn from a guy named Mark Termini.